So welcome ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to today's video. We're going to be talking about PES 2021 once again, a little bit of PES 2022 as well, and a brief discussion about the Switch, or will we see a Switch version. Now, Spoonie and that have probably already done a video. In fact, he has done a video about this interview, but I hadn't seen it, and I went in there and I kind of made it simpler, pretty much, than just reading a big blob of text. So, without further ado, we'll dive into it. If you do enjoy the video, of course, do smash the subscribe button. Once PES 2021 is out, I will be putting a lot of content. We'll get a Master League going. I do plan on doing a Master League for PES 2020 again, but time is not exactly free right now. But anyway, let's dive into it. I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and for a bit of fun, put an emoji in the comments, alright? Put an emoji. What do you think of PES 2021? You gonna buy it? If you are, put a smiley face. If you think it's gonna be poop, then put a poop face. Alright, anyway, let's dive into it. So everything you need to know about PES 2021. Now, I have translated this article. Hopefully, it comes out okie dokie. But anyway, the first question that's been asked many times, but we'll still just put it out there for clarification purposes. Is this an expansion of PES 2020? Or is it a new game? Okay, and what is PES 2021 season update? Well, first of all, yes, it's a new game. Okay, it's a brand new game, a new season of PES, simple as that. You're going to just get the new roster update and all the basic stuff that's going on. Secondly, it's a bit of a change of direction. What he spoke about here, Robbie, which is obviously the one who did the interview. I've met him myself. He's a very nice gentleman. But they're spending most of the time focusing on the new Unreal Engine coming for PES 2022. You know, if you asked me about that, yes, I would very much prefer them spending an extra year polishing up a new engine-based game than putting out an updated, better, gameplays more refined PES 2021. If it's going to cost time and money and it's going to make PES 2022 worse, then fine. I understand the season update. They are making it a respectable fee, as much as some of you still think it's too expensive, but the facts are it is a cheap game. They're not charging you full price, nowhere near it. And probably give it a few weeks or a month and it'll be even cheaper. Number 3, improvements. There are going to be slight improvements, but it is not a totally new game compared to PES 2020. And in fact, you'll see in a minute that gameplay-wise, is pretty much exactly the same. And number 4, they wanted to be transparent pretty much, okay? They wanted to be honest with the followers, the fans, and tell them that it's not a completely new game, and that's why it's called a season update. Credit to them in that regard. They could have BS'd all day and said, no, it's going to have this, it's going to have that, and then you get the game and you're annoyed. But they're not. They're being transparent about it. They've been very honest and open about it, that it is just an update. So you don't need to have PES 2020 to access this PES 2021. No, you don't. Simple as that. Mentioned it before, but I'll keep mentioning it just in case people don't get it. And of course, no data is transferred over, okay? So you will lose all your PES 2020 data. That includes both offline, it includes both online as well. So if you're worried about losing all your My Club Legends, don't get PES 2021. But honestly, if you pre-order the edition, and we'll talk about that as well at the end of this video, you probably will have a pretty stacked team anyway. So on September 15th, we will all start from scratch regarding My Club. Yes. All right. Once again, I'm just getting out of the way. These are the questions asked, so these are the questions that need to be done. So a new game means everything is reset. Many people thought it was a DLC, but it is not. It's a totally different game. All right. That's out the way. Forget those questions. Now let's get into the fun stuff. So PES 2021 maintains the same playability, gameplay, and the same graphics as PES 2020. And this is what he said. Yeah, gameplay is pretty much 99.9% same as PES 2020. Other types of changes will make it a different version. Now, that could mean a lot of things. I mean, obviously updated rosters, updated kits, tactics, although tactics are something they really need to refine and work on, especially for the new engine. But there it is. Gameplay is pretty much 99.9%. Now, if they haven't gone in there and done anything to the gameplay, I'm going to be quite surprised. You know, I've been watching people play online, and it is a mess. It really is. These data packs, you know, they put these data packs out, and they're just getting worse. I don't know what they do to them. They don't test them properly. Look, give some of us YouTubers content creators, streamers, give us an early access to the data packs if you have to. We'll test them. I'll test the hell out of it if I need to, and then I'll go from there. But yeah, Konami, we really need to focus on these data packs and fix the gameplay. But there it is in a nutshell. So, if you wanted any massive gameplay changes, no, it's not going to happen. So, it has already been announced that PES has lost Inter and AC Milan's licenses, so they will no longer be in PES 2021. That they will be in PES 2021, by the way, it's just they won't have the correct sort of emblems, names, the stadiums won't be in there, but they're going to be in there. It just means the likes of us at PES Universe are going to have to update them. Are they the only casualties? As in, did they lose any other licenses? Robbie did say, as far as I know, or he knows, there is no other change. They will be the only two. We will have announcements from other partner teams that will join PES 2021. So there you go. Now, I wouldn't expect any massive partners this year. I really wouldn't. I don't think they're going to spend the money and the funds to go in there and get the big clubs. So I don't expect anything too crazy. If they're going to get any other partner teams, it will be like South America, you know, Chile, Brazil, Argentina, that kind of stuff, which we've seen in the past. Or it will be the odd team, like, you know, the other European section in PES, where you have, like, who's in there? I don't know. I can't even remember some teams, but you know what I mean. Those are going to be the teams that are going to be added, not the big teams. I wouldn't expect it. Now, this is about Peru, because I think this was like an article. Speaking specifically about Peru, I'm not even going to say that one, but Deportes, Alianza Lima, Sporting Cristal, and Sport Boys continue. Love the accent there. But yeah, all four remain yes. We continue with the same clubs with which we have a partnership for several years. They are maintained in this version of PES. So they're not going to be losing, if you're worried about the Peruvian type league, they're not going to lose those types of teams. A rumor arose that the Estadio Monumental of Deportes, where the final of the last Copa Libertadores was played, could be included in PES 2021. And the answer to that is unfortunately no, it's not going to be in PES 2021. We will wait to see what the future holds, as our main focus was the season update for PES 2021. As I said, they're not going to focus on spending a lot of money getting the little bits and bobs for this year's edition to the game. Wouldn't make sense, especially if they can't port it all over to the Unreal Engine, etc. Then they're kind of just wasting the resources. So was this season update format planned in advance, or was this a decision made due to the COVID-19 pandemic? Now, this is quite an interesting and intriguing question, because before I knew the answer to this, I was pretty much like, yeah, they may have just dumbed it down because of COVID, but what Robbie did say was it was planned in advance. Okay, COVID did us little harm. It did affect us like everyone else, though, since we had to close for a bit and obviously work from home. But their actual decision was made before this, which is good because the pandemic didn't really cause them to make drastic measures in a very short space of time. And if they've been focusing on the Unreal Engine and PES 2022, obviously that's fantastic. So, will there be a demo of PES 2021? The answer is no. No demo this year, because by maintaining the gameplay of PES 2020, the team decided to avoid releasing another demo. It kind of makes sense. If it's the same game, what is the point? Like, it would be absolutely no point in having a demo, because it does take a bit of time to make these demos. Then you'd have to put the teams in there with the licensed teams, update the faces, the players. It's just a hassle. And if the gameplay, as I say, 99% the same, wouldn't even worry about it. Alright, so let's talk about PES 2022. Alright, a new start in the series with a new engine and therefore with a new revamped graphics and gameplay. I kind of just reworded this, that's why it sounds terrible, because the article wasn't in English. But Robbie said, absolutely, we have been working with the Unreal Engine for a long time on mobile, and we wanted to make the leap on consoles. That's very true. They have got the Unreal Engine running on mobile. Obviously, you can't really compare the two, because mobile games are far inferior to a console. They're not going to look the same, they're not really going to play the same, but There you go. The team did not want to release a version, let's say demo, in the first year. They wanted to take another year of work to give a good product to the people of PES who deserve it. We really want to showcase the difference. So there you go. Now, will PES 2022 have the same launch window as previous titles? Well, that is the name of the game, okay? It says release dates will be the same. We are talking about maintaining the same launch format every year. I think that this is the idea because that is when the football seasons in Europe start. If that's true, that's great because we won't have to wait for PES 2022 on a new engine till, PES 20 or the year 2023. It will be out basically around September-ish time. Could change, of course. They could push it back a little bit later, what with FIFA generally coming out in mid-October, but that's what they're aiming for, the same kind of release dates. So as PES 2022 is a next-gen game with a new engine and gameplay, will there be versions for PS4 and Xbox One? Well, Robbie did state that it's yet to be announced, but he really believes that is not something that can be left out, and I totally agree with him. It will be good to continue with the last generation consoles as we did in other generation changes. Let's wait for the announcements when they're ready, but the idea is to stay on those consoles. I mean, it's a no-brainer. They really have to focus on the PS4 still, because most of the people buying PES 2022 are still going to have a PS4. PS5 is going to be expensive. We know that. Some people are going to have to save up. Some people may not want to get it initially. They might want to see how it plays out. But yeah, it would make no sense for them not to put out 22 on the old consoles at the time. So, moving on to the Nintendo Switch here. Is there the possibility of having the PES series on the Switch? I would love it, to be fair. But we'll see. This is what we say. He says we are getting closer. All right. So the Unreal Engine will help us a lot to be a little more flexible on what platforms we appear on. I can't assure you yet, but I think we're getting closer to getting there, which is on the Switch. It is something we want because people ask us, and there are many consumers who have stopped playing PES just because we are not on that platform. I think it would be good to play on. Sometimes I sit there and I want to just play on the Switch. I don't want to whip out a whole PC or a PS4 or an Xbox or whatever. You just want it on the old handheld. Obviously, FIFA has theirs. I'm not a huge fan of FIFA's gameplay, so if you put PES on the Switch, I would enjoy it. Would you? Let me know in the comments. Would you play PES on the Switch? I think it could be fantastic if they got it right. Now that we have the Nintendo Switch online service with reruns of Super Nintendo classics, will it be possible to see International Superstar Soccer back? That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Absolutely classic. Even the old school ones, the PES 3s, the 4s, the 5s, you put those as a classic on the Switch, I'm sure they would sell a ton of copies. And this is what he said. When we asked the production team internally if it was possible or not, I found something that surprised me. The team that made ISS is a totally different team from what PES does. I'm not saying it can never happen, but you have to look at who is working at that time in that game and see how we can resurrect it. It surprised me. Fingers crossed it is a possibility, as us older people would like to have something more retro. Absolutely, once again, totally agree. It would be fantastic to have, the ISS on the old school games, but as he says, it is a different team, so it's kind of up in the air on that one. So that is pretty much it, ladies and gents. That was the article. Let me know your thoughts below. I know you guys have probably all seen it with Spoonie, but I kind of just wanted to narrow it down and make it easier. But let me dive into some pre-order goodness now as I head over to the Twitter of PES Universe. Okay, so something we put out yesterday at PES Universe was a tweet that got kind of a lot of interaction, and some people didn't believe us, but let me tell you this much. We don't put out information unless it's true. We don't mess about. We don't put, inaccurate factual information. It's factual. It's factual. So this is what we said. We can confirm that multiple club editions can be pre-ordered for multiple iconic moment players. Okay, so it seems the iconic moment players will stack. So if you order the Barcelona edition and the Juve edition, you will get iconic moment Messi and iconic moment Ronaldo as a purchase bonus. I mean, you can go through here and there's a lot of spiel about it, but those are factual, and it's very, very true. So the choice is yours. I also believe you may get double the coins as well So you'll be able to get 6,000 My Club coins. And at the end of the day, look, people complain about that. They're going to say, oh, well, the teams are going to be stacked, blah-de-blue-de-blah. But look, the reason people probably wouldn't pick up PES 2021 is because they lose all their legends and stuff in My Club. Well, now, if you want to pre-order 2 editions, you can. You'll get double the players, double the coins. It's your money, people. You can do as you wish. I don't understand people that get annoyed with other people for spending their money. You can do as you want. If you want to boycott PES, Konami, go for it. But there's a lot of people that aren't going to do that because they enjoy the game still and they still want to get the most out of it. So that's the news I want to let you guys know about. So you can stack it. You can get Man United and Arsenal if you want. You can get Barcelona and Bayern Munich. The choice is yours. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about that as well. If you want to read up about it, head over to our... obviously the Twitter of us, because we put out a lot of news. We're going to be having the new memberships coming out as well, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Hit the like button if you did, subscribe for more, and I shall return. I want to dive back into playing PES, of course, with the Master League. Just need to get going. And I do like manual. I just got to learn it more. So there we go. Till next time, guys and girls, take care.